it's funny that they let me channel this system, because I wasn't woo-woo like at all, right? Think about it. I was really 3D matrix. I was studying. I was all about data analytics. I can still know all the correlations. I need to know how to run regressions, right? So I am really like scientific in that standpoint. And now they brought me to this. So I'm going to like dig deep into like what is the mechanics, like why is these people call it miracles, why like modern medicine cannot heal cancer, but why you talk affirmations and it actually work. And that's actually the mechanics. If you know, you fully need to understand that 7 layers of energy, you've got everything. You've got manifestation, you've got healing, you're healthy, you're happy like a clam. So that's what I'm using right now.
I love it. Welcome everyone to the Spiritual Forum. I'm so glad you're here. I just want to give a quick shout out to a couple of my regular donors, and that is Terry and Marianne. Thank you so much for being a part of this podcast and this ministry that is a voice of hope, inspiration, and awakening in the world, and where I have guests from around the world to talk about practical spiritual living. How are we living our lives and becoming the people that we are meant to be, and really getting down to the truth of our being and recognizing our divinity and rising up in consciousness so that we can create a world that works for everyone on this planet. So thank you so much for your donations. And if anybody else wants to donate, you can do so at thespiritualforum.org. Also, don't forget my retreat. It is a whole planet spirituality retreat at Unity Village, Missouri. You can learn a whole lot more about that at thespiritualforum.org. Fabulous retreat. I'm so excited about it. Now let me introduce my guest. Helen Ye Plehn is the founder of Helen Creates Beauty and the creator of the Aura Color Wheel, which is a system to identify your soul's purpose through your soul aura color. Her new book, The Aura Color Wheel, What Your Soul Reveals About Your Soul Gifts, Wounds, and Lessons, is coming out this week. And it is being published by the Hay House Publishing House. She is an aura reader, intuitive painter, certified crystal healer, angel channeler, 3rd generation feng shui master, certified yoga and meditation teacher, and spiritual teacher. And I can't wait to learn about her background, how she got all of this. But I know it's going to be a fascinating story. She's also an Ayurveda practitioner, a Vedic astrologer, a theta healer, and this is my favorite, Helen, a passionate flamenco dancer.
Oh, yes.
I just love that. Okay, Helen's mission is to help 1 million souls to find and live their soul's purposes with joy. I also love that because you're really numbering it. You're naming it. You're naming it. So welcome, Helen.
Thank you for having me today, Carol. Thank you for sharing the light to the world.
Oh gosh, and you too. This is going to be so much fun. Before we get going, I'm going to ask you just a couple of rapid fire questions, and they're going to be pretty easy. Will you share with us just one person who has influenced your life? I know there's been a lot, but who would you like to name today during this recording?
I would say my first meditation teacher, Ed Zadlow. Unfortunately, he just passed probably a couple months before this book launch. Otherwise, I actually would love to invite him to my book launch party. So my first yoga meditation teacher training at the time was in Philadelphia. That's where we live at the time. It's the yoga studio called Yoga on Main. And Ed Zadlow was the Ayurveda and meditation teacher in-house. He studied under Dr. David Frawley. Dr. David Frawley is the founder of Vedic Institute in the US. So I still remember what changed me from, I would say, my normal human being to a spiritual being is the first meditation with him. So I would like to actually give him a big shout out to have that influence in my life.
That's amazing. Wow, that you can point to that. That's really, really amazing. He must have been a real gift to you.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now I want to ask you what brings you joy, or what is something that brings you joy?
many things. And actually, my soul's frequency is literally joy. So I would say painting and dancing, and actually teaching. Actually, when I see someone's eye lit up and they get inspired, that also really fills me with joy. So I'm an intuitive painter, meaning that I paint through my third eye visions during meditation. Whatever I see, I paint them. So it's almost like automatic writing, but automatic painting. So I love doing that, and those are all my artworks. And actually, I have a current solo gallery show in an art gallery in Huntington Beach. So, and of course, flamenco dancing. It's funny that I recall a lifetime, actually many past lifetimes as gypsies in southern Spain, and that really draws my soul. As a matter of fact, we're traveling to Spain this summer, to the land, the Andalusia, and actually paella is my favorite food. Although I was born in China this lifetime, which has nothing to do with paella, but but after you did so many past life regressions, you remember, your soul has the imprint or remembrance of what you have done in the past. Yeah, a lot of people ask me, why you do so many things, like how do you handle that or something. I said no, because I've done this for many lifetimes. This is not my first time of doing it. But to make this answer is a little bit long, but those are the things that brings me joy.
I love that. Oh, I love that. Okay, now this I've never asked anyone this before, but since you're a color person, what's your favorite color?
Yeah, yellow. Currently, then I would say actually all color except black. I would say like a rainbow, but currently, yellow is my favorite color. And I realize the color that I'm drawn to, or my favorite color at the time, is typically the energy I actually need at the time. It's funny that you mentioned that, because it's a very great question. Because I did not have this self-reflection before, because I wasn't, born seeing aura colors. But then as I later on reflect on my life path, I realized that when I was a child or when I was a kid, my favorite color is actually blue, and a shade of kind of like sky blue, very light, almost turquoise-ish. And that's actually healing my soul wound in the throat chakra. I didn't know, because not typically girls like pink. Most girls like pink, and my mom always get me pink clothing. And then I would tell my mom, I don't like pink, mom. Just get me blue stuff. It's like, you're not a boy, right? So that was funny, right? And then later on, I reflect a little bit more. I've drawn to more and more of green during the time when I actually met my husband, where when I started to learn what is love, in a way, that's during my late teen to early 20s, and green become my favorite color at the time, because my heart chakra was opening. I just like, now I reflecting back, I understand that's why, right? And later on, I really resonate with my personal, actually, soul aura color, tangerine. So it's a shade of red or yellow orange. That's more of my, how, that's why I call it, that's the joy, the frequency of happiness, right? So I'm naturally, I'm going back to my soul's frequency, which is nice. And now I figure yellow is my current favorite color for many different reasons, because I'm embodying a few soul gift archetypes right now, and all of them require my solar plexus chakra to be on. So I'm like, I need these, I need more of these to sustain what I'm doing right now. So that's probably why.
I think that's fascinating. I love what you say, how it's kind of evolved, because I like I used to decorate and have a lot of green in my house. And then like when my mom died, which was, oh gosh, I don't know. Um, oh, I should know, but it's probably about 10 years ago. She had everything in blue. Her whole house was in blue. I never did blue.
Mhm.
But after she died, I started doing everything in blue. I have some, and I don't think it has anything to do with my soul aura color. It might have to do with my throat chakra, but there's something about blue that now matters to me that I really didn't like before.
Yeah, interesting. Because look, you're hosting a podcast. A lot of what you do is about communication. You
Yes.
need that energy to
Yeah.
recharge you. So what I'm saying that it doesn't have to be, what your favorite color doesn't have to be your soul aura color
Uh-huh.
all the
Okay.
time. It's okay. And sometimes our favorite color is because that energy, we use it constantly. Like we're sending out that energy, we need that to rebalance us. That's just how it is, right? Just sometimes I feel like I almost like over sending out my creativity. That's like in the orange aura layer. I need that. I need the orange color to come back to me to be a whole. So, as human beings or light beings, I would say at a soul level, it's all about balance. It's really the yin and the yang, that's the wholeness. When we are whole, that's when we are healthy, happy, and fulfilled. That's like the ideal state. So that's why at the end of the day, we actually need all seven rainbow colors like
Yes.
inside of us to some degree. It's just because, some of us, this might be a little bit less and that's a little bit more. That's why we radiate different type of color. But it doesn't mean that your favorite color has to be your soul aura color. It can be the color you need to either heal yourself at the moment, or maybe you even if your soul gift aura color can be out of balance because you use it so much, you just need that back. So to kind of rebalance yourself.
Okay. All right. That's really helpful because I am thinking, I'm remembering now, my whole blue thing
Yes.
started kind of with I had a church and I was speaking a lot, and I
Mhm.
had now then I started a podcast and speaking a lot, and yes, I have a lot
Right.
going on with my throat chakra, which we can talk about later. But let's talk more about you again. I'm so intrigued by your background because you were born in mainland China, which is
Yes.
not really known for spirituality. And so somehow Helen went from whatever your upbringing was in mainland China to this deeply spiritual person, and I'd love to know more about that journey.
Yeah. When people ask me, I would always say that the Helen you see today is the Helen 5.0. So the Helen 1.0 was, yes, and born and raised in Guangzhou, China. So it's a city very close to Hong Kong. So I was born speaking Cantonese. So in mainland China, the majority of a religion or majority of people believe either Buddhism or Taoism. However, I did not raise, religious at all, just like temples everywhere. But I do like read philosophy books, like from Lao Tzu, and so more like a philosophical standpoint instead of a religion standpoint growing up. And but my father now passed away 23 years ago. Now is a spirit guy. Now I can tune into him.
Hmm.
um that he was I won't say that he's very spiritual, but he's very present. He was a traditional Chinese painter and calligrapher, and he loves orchid. So he loves nature, love, do paintings and calligraphy. And as a child, he will bring me every weekend. He's busy during the week, but every weekend he would bring me to the orchid garden. We'll do tea ceremony. We drink orchid tea. So about like a zen and a presence that's imbued in me. And also when he would go out to the mountains to sketch, we used to live under the foothill of Bayun Mountain. So every weekend we'll climb up the mountain. He would do sketches and drawings, and I would play in the lake, literally like the natural in natural lake, and I would just like talk to the trees. And that's how I grew up. I think that still, has in me till today. And also my father wouldn't encourage me, saying that why do you talk to the trees. He would say, he would ask me interesting questions. Oh, what did he tell you? What did he say? He would just encourage me to do these, explorations, imagination. And I really appreciate that. So that's kind of how I grew up. And of course then I was plug back into the matrix, because it's all about exams, getting ahead in school and all of these. And I understand that, because, from their standpoint, on a society standpoint, in order to be happy, you need to have a great job, good reputation, good family, marry a good man, all of these, check, 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 check. So I did all of these until I was in my PhD program. It's actually my father's encouragement for me to come to the US for higher education, because he knew, education is very important. And luckily, if you know astrology, in Western astrology, my South Node is in Sagittarius. So that's like one of my gifts. Studying is never a hard thing to me. I just like to study in general. So it wasn't a force, to get A's and something like that. I just like studying no matter what. So then I went all the way until I got a full scholarship, came to the US. When I was at the top of what the society said you're supposed to be very happy, I had an anxiety and depression. Okay, because I was like, I almost graduating with my PhD degree. I already had 3 academic paper published, and on set to become a professor, engaged to my current husband. From the outside world, I have an all set, and that's what I've been told all the time, all my life, so I will be happy. And then I got hit with deep anxiety and depression, frequent therapist office, and I did a personality test at my therapist, visit, and she said that, well, Helen, from this what you said, if this is true, you are completely free spirit. I don't even know why you're doing data analytics and learning statistics and writing papers. What are you doing? And I'm like, wow, that's what, my family told me, and my society said this is going to be successful and I will be happy. And that was in 2011. That's when it hit me hard. And I'm like, okay, I really want to know who the heck I am, why am I here, and how can I be truly happy? And that's my first stop of my personal healing and spiritual discovery journey happens in that yoga studio. I think that's at the beginning I was just doing yoga classes, and then Shiva, my yoga teacher at the time, said that, Helen, you might be want to consider the teacher training. It just gets deeper. And in 2012, I did that. Oh my gosh, my life is completely different from then. So I begin to study all kinds of self-spiritual discovery wisdom, like Enneagram, Gene Keys, human design, Vedic astrology, you name it, I study it. Like, I really want to know who the heck I am, right? At that point, like, who am I? And at the time, Christopher is an in-house Vedic astrologer. He did a reading on me, and he said, oh, Helen, this lifetime, your dharma, or your soul's purpose this lifetime, is to create. And I'm like, wow, okay, you didn't know me at all. Like, you just look at my birthday and you tell me what my soul purpose is. It's like, how come I didn't know for 20 something years until I know now, right? And that really, really fascinated me. And that's why I become an AV student of all of that. And from that, my career like switched to interior architecture and design, because wanting to become an architect and interior designer was my childhood dream. But because it's in the creative field, it's kind of RC, and it wasn't supported at the time, especially for a female wanting to become an architect. At least in China, it wasn't a popular idea. So I went back to school, got my second master's degree, because I need a license to practice in California. You just need a formal degree. So I went back, but my spiritual study or practice never stopped. It's almost like parallel, just my career becomes a interior designer, but my spiritual practice, I become a certified crystal healer, as well as picking up my feng shui background. My first business is actually offering feng shui interior design, so that way I can combine feng shui and interior design together. And in 2018, So 2012, I got my first yoga teacher certificate training. And because my first meditation, I was sobbing like a baby. I was crying because I felt that there was a bigger presence holding me all the time. I was hooked on meditation. 3 months after my daily meditation, I was off all the anxiety and depression medication. Like literally, like 3 months. It's like magic happens, and then from then on, I do daily meditation until this day. It's been 14 years, nonstop. Like it's the first thing I get up to do, like brushing my teeth, so that I don't skip it every single day. And after 7 years in 2018, I had my spontaneous Kundalini awakening. It wasn't planned, and I do meditation literally just to keep myself in sanity so that I don't get depressed or anxiety anymore, seriously. And I did not know that as a side benefit, I actually get a full body Kundalini awakening. And that's when my third eye began to open. So, wow, that really opens almost the Pandora box. Because if you asked me 10 years ago if I believe in angels, I would say no, they don't exist, right? That's your standard answer, in Chinese exams. But however, like now I've experienced it, I cannot decline it. That's when I begin to see auras around people, plants, animal, anything, any living being. Let me put it that way. Um, and so I keep my spiritual practice going. It's just my business shifted a little bit. Instead of just doing feng shui and interior design, I incorporate energy healing. For a lot of clients, I begin to do spiritual teaching. I was a meditation teacher for a while in many local communities. Um, and that's progressed into the aura color wheel system that I begin to channel through like four really deep mythical experience. So the whole system was channeled, and then I used it on myself and on many of my clients and students, and it proved that it works. So that's why it became the book.
Oh, that's a fabulous story. I think it's not uncommon that we all get on this hamster wheel and check those boxes, like you said, to get this degree and then get that degree, and we've got to get a job. It's such interesting
Right.
programming in our society. We're all victims of this programming. It's something
Yeah.
that's almost a trauma that we experience. That our culture puts this on us, and we think we're doing the right thing. I don't have the same stories you have, but there many of us pivot from this climbing the corporate ladder or doing whatever it
Yes.
is that's expected of us to achieve, to going, wait a minute, I'm not being fulfilled. But what's so cool is
Yeah.
you pivoted pretty rapidly to something that expressed your honest self. And I think a lot of people get confused at that point. Like, I still don't even know who I am, but you pursued that. Yeah.
Right. I think I also got lucky because I have a very supportive husband. Because at the time, I also, engaged and got married. And luckily, after these years, we're still married. Now, he is a very analytical guy. He's not spiritual in any way, but he can tell I was suffering. I wasn't happy. And he actually recommended the Patropas books to me. He said that maybe you can find some answers from here. It seems like you're interested in that type of thing. And he wasn't even reading them, okay, because his mom was reading them, and he said maybe it will be helpful. And at the beginning, I actually used the Pachopa and Oprah, the 21-day meditation, to get me going at the beginning. And I didn't realize that it was actually a mantra based meditation. So it's actually really good for my soul wound in the throat chakra, the blue aura
Uh-huh.
layer. So it just happens to be that way. So yeah, though during this period of time I get career switches, but because I'm more in alignment, I'm getting more and more in alignment with my soul's purpose.
Uh-huh.
Opportunities and synchronicities show up, and they only show up when I trust, and I wasn't like in fear mode or worrying whether I'm going to get a job, whether this is going to be success. I'm just like leaning into it. And then I remember client to do interior design with me. We just met up, and I didn't even have a business card yet at the time. I just think of this idea. It's a wedding gown showroom. Girl Brazilian solo entrepreneur said that, okay, come, design my boutique. And then from word of mouth, it kind of rolls out there. So it's not like it's all planned out, oh, you're going to get, earn money this way or that way. Same with my, crystal healing teachers or my students. It's just like, it's organic. I actually don't know the fully next step, to be honest. It's not like plan and anyway, but I just like, there was the internal take is so hard, and every time when I've done it, it fulfills me. It fuels me. It's like put me on fire. I'm like, this is cool. Let's do it one more time. It's not like you need to go to work and you feel so drained. You're looking at the clock. Okay, now it's lunchtime. Let's do lunch. Now it's, the difference, energy giving. So I just keep doing it. From the internal thing, I have that, and from an external world, my husband was, really supporting me, emotionally and financially at the beginning, right? So it just works out that way.
Yeah, I think, but there's a couple of things that you really pointed out, that when you align with your authentic nature and your who you are and your purpose, then the universe just starts showing up.
Wow,
It's not that hard. And we keep thinking we've
right.
got to do something or, achieve this thing or whatever. And we're way off balance. But when you come back to your center, when Helen came back to her, then it's like it was easy. That's fascinating. It's fascinating that these doors that open that you didn't even try to
Yeah,
knock on.
no,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. Like I would say is that this society, I think the society is too masculine in a way. It's not like we don't need the masculine energy, the divine masculine energy for structure, but we also need to we need to balance. Remember the beginning, we talk about the complementary color. You need
Yes.
that
Yeah.
energy to balance you out. It's like we need more divine feminine energy
Yes.
in our society, in our system. That allowing, that surrendering, that's okay to receiving. You don't need permission from others. To be honest, after so many certifications and degrees and all that, I can tell you, you don't need any of these to
I
be
agree.
yourself.
Yeah.
None of it.
Yeah.
BS. Okay. So you don't need any degree, literally, just to be yourself. And once you be your most authentic self, oh my gosh, all the opportunities opens doors, one rose to another. Just like publishing this book with A House. I didn't even have a book agent. I have nothing. I just knew that I need to channel this system is beneficial for the humanity. And just an email literally dropped in my inbox when it's time. Like I didn't even plan it out. And I received like Hey House email saying that, oh, we have a writers community. If you want to join, you can submit your book proposal. I'm like, yeah, thanks, Divine, telling me that this is the next step. So it's just like that's it. So instead of the traditional, you need to find out, 10 publishers, you need to find a book agent, you need to check off this list and all that stuff. I did none. So,
I love that.
so it's just foolish. That's why I'm telling you this is the 5.0.
Yeah.
In between, I also become a professional artist. That's because a lot of my clients, you see, that's another ball rolling. It's because a lot of my interior design or feng shui client wanted a crystal grid or wanted some kind of pattern made, ideally suited for their personal energy. So because you're born with a fire element, you want more, a colorful, vibrant, like what I'm wearing, kind of pattern for your draperies, for your beddings or plates or whatever. And that's when I switch myself into more a professional surface pattern designer and artist, because like your client even shows up before, because that's a match. It's like how you, it's not like you plan, okay, I'm going to do this and I become this, and then my client will come to me. That never works, right? So you just like go kind of roll it. And then when my client, my healing and spiritual student client shows up, I offer these courses. And then when I have the book, I mean, okay, so the publish comes in a way. it was like I have to be admit, I get even myself till today, I'm super surprised how the divine or the universe will work with me as long as I need to trust them. Now, whenever that doesn't happen, this rolling thing doesn't happen, when I stop it, I notice that it's because when I started to control or expect, like not towards my expectation, or this is not the time I wanted it, or I get fear. Like, oh, what if I get worried? What if doesn't come out? What if, like, if I have those four forms, those are the blockages.
Yep. Block.
And exactly. So that's the experiment. So in the book, it's funny that like this is not miracle or magic. I actually explain the mechanics of why this is working. It's all because the seven aura layers. Now, our physical aura layer, the root chakra, is actually the closest to our body, right? So the crown chakra, the seven chakra system, crown chakra is the most outer layer, so the outest layer of our aura. Okay. Now the second layer is the emotion, and then it's the mental body. The mental body is the solar plexus. All right. So if we embody the emotion and have the positive thoughts of what your soul alignment is going to be, you're going to send a really powerful signal to your outer layer, to your causal body, telling the universe, hey, this soul is ready. Let's co-create a reality that's in alignment with her. That's how it works. You're broadcasting, you're broadcasting energy to the outside world. That's why now I fully understand. I'm like, oh, so if I stuck in the thought, like the thought aura layer in the yellow aura, that's when you cannot broadcast it out. So the universe didn't receive that signal. It's like I didn't receive it. I wouldn't co-create the reality what I actually want. So that's the fascinating. It's like there is like so much wisdom in understanding the aura layer in an energy level and how this works.
That's fascinating. So you're really explaining why some people, like they said, the universe doesn't work with me. It's like,
Yes.
or yeah, it works for you, but it doesn't work for me.
The fourth one, it doesn't broadcast out.
Yeah.
And the same thing, if you want to look at energy in that standpoint, I really dive deep into this topic in my book. The same works for healing. All right. So it's the healing is just from the outside in, meaning that like the physical body, I'm talking about physical healing, right? So in my programs, I have actually people has first stage pancreatic cancer or breast cancer. They come to me and want healing. Those are more like soul wound healing instead of soul gift embodying. So from a energy standpoint, you literally need to have positive thoughts. If you always have these negative thought patterns towards your body, because your physical body is enveloped by your emotional body, is enveloped by your thought, by your mental body. So if you have positive thoughts and then you feel the positive emotion from that thought, your body naturally receives the signal that, hey, I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm thriving. And then it's just healing your body, like it's not a miracle. Even Louise Hay, the founder of Hay House
Yes.
Publishing, used affirmation, literally just use affirmation to heal her physical body cancer. And of course, it's proven it works. I use the same practice, same technique. I teach my students all their cancer, like at least for first stage. I did not have fourth stage, so I'm not sure. I cannot, say that, but it actually works. So that's just working from your subtle energy. If you know the mechanics of how each aura layer works, oh my gosh, you unlock the secret of all healing and all manifestation. That's really cool.
That's totally cool. Yeah, I'm a Unity minister, and Unity is also teachers of affirmations. But affirmations just saying the words doesn't do anything. I mean, if you
That's
just
right.
say, and I think
That's
that's where
correct.
people got confused. I am healed. I just said that. Okay, that's not opening up.
It's you need to feel it. You need to
Yes,
feel the
yes,
emotion, and
yeah.
that because that you see the layer, right? physical body, the second one in between is the emotional body. If your emotional body is not activated, it doesn't go into your physical body. All right. So it doesn't work. In order to have that thought form, and also that thought form is a belief. Okay. So that's why a lot of people talking about healing limiting beliefs. So if that thought form is not your real belief, you just say it as if, like I say so many things, I don't really believe it. That doesn't work either.
Right.
It has to you have to resonate with it. So that's why, I have actually 3 different type of techniques to actually make that work. It's not like you just read a bunch of positive things and then you don't believe any of it and you expect
You just
miracles.
snap your finger.
Come on, yeah, that's there's some nuance, to it. But that's the mechanics. Like I just explained, the 7 aura layers it's the energy, So at the end of the day, no matter what your soul aura is, at the end of the day, you need all 7 layers. You need to charge all of them. So that's why this process, a lot of the Asian sages call it enlightenment, because at a soul level, you are light. You're not this physical body, you're a ball of light. And that's why your aura color tells me, your gifts, wounds, and lessons, because that's your light energy. The light energy you radiate, meaning that you have more of the energy, right? The aura color that you don't radiate, meaning that might be your soul wound that you need to heal, and you need to bring more of that, so that way your soul is completely balanced. And at the end of the day, what happens? You become white or golden. That's why, a lot of enlightened saints like Jesus Christ or Buddha, people say they have golden halo around them. Why? Because they've gone through all of these 7 aura layers. Now they have everything. Everything is their strength. There was no soul wound. There's no soul lesson. They've walked this path, and now they're all white. So that's another explanation. It's pretty intuitive. It's nothing woo-woo about it. If you think of it from a subtle energy standpoint, that's how you are. You unlock all the secrets.
I love it. There's nothing woo-woo about this.
Yeah,
I like that.
it's
Yeah.
very dynamic. It's funny that they let me channel this system, because I wasn't woo-woo at all, right? Think about it. I was really 3D matrix. I was studying. I was all about data analytics. I can still know all the correlations. I need to know how to run regressions, right? So I am really scientific in that standpoint. And now they brought me to this. So I'm going to dig deep into what is the mechanics, why is this people call it miracles, why like modern medicine cannot heal cancer, but why you talk affirmations and they actually work. And that's actually the mechanics. If you fully need to understand that 7 layers of energy, you've got everything. You've got manifestation, you've got healing, you're healthy, you're happy like a clam. So that's what I'm using right now.
I love it. I love that. I think we need to talk about the color aura wheel so people kind of know what we're talking about.
Sure.
It's not just a personality system, but it is that too. So why don't you just share in a nutshell, and we can have links to it and all that kind of stuff in the show notes. But so
Right.
people know learn what this color aura wheel is. Why don't you summarize it for us?
Definitely. So it's basically a soul discovery system, because as I mentioned, your soul is light. And if light has different wavelength and frequency, scientifically speaking, so that produce different visible light in our eyes. But there are a lot of invisible spectrums, of course. So when this ball of light, so it's your soul aura color, it's around your heart chakra, just so you know. So it's not the mood aura around your face, whether you're happy or upset. That changes all the time. And your personality aura is around your head. That tells me you're outgoing, shy, or introvert, or analytical, or intuitive person. Okay, but your soul aura is around your heart. It's the most permanent aura color out of the 3. So now what is aura? Okay, aura is just an energy, so it has different frequencies and different wavelength. So energy is information that vibrates. So that information tells literally every organ inside of your body where to put the organ. Like your heart is in here, your liver is in here. They don't go to separate places, okay? So your soul aura tells me the 3 key pieces of information about your soul incarnated this lifetime. It tells me what is your soul gift archetype, and what is one deep soul wound that you have, and then 3 soul lessons that you are here to learn. So that's your soul aura color. And the composition of it, it's very intuitive. It's basically you have 2 strong aura layer. You remember the 7 aura layer we talk about, power by the 7 chakras. You were born with 2 strong ones because of many, many past lives. You just incarnated, they're strong. And then one of them, it's a little bit weaker. Like for example, mine's in the blue aura layer. So that's why, like intuitively, I'm a tangerine because I'm more orange. I have less blue. So that's quite intuitive. So now in this aura color wheel system, it has 9 universal soul gift archetypes that you were born with. For example, I was born an artist soul gift archetype. No wonder I wasn't happy when I'm doing research, right? So, and then there was 36 soul aura colors. So that means every archetype you have 4 specific colors, depending. Basically, what it depending is on which aura layer is your soul wound, right? Like which aura layer is your wound. And this particular system does not have the crown chakra included. It just talks about the 6 other aura layers. Why? Is because once you have that Kundalini awakening, once you work up all the 6 aura layer to a balance point, to a holistic point, this aura layer completely will open for you to connect, with your spirit team. So that's kind of in a nutshell of, it talks about, your soul, literally what is here to do. Because from a soul standpoint, like universally, we are here to evolve. So the evolving, the evolution, this book is about soul evolution. It literally maps out, the possibility. If you're this particular soul gift archetype, if you heal your wound, you can become a different soul gift archetype. It maps out. It's like choose your own adventure game. If I'm born with this wound, now I heal this, so now I can combine this and the other strong aura layer and become a different thing. So it's cool because it's dynamic. A lot of the like personality or self-discovery system, it's not really dynamic, but Enneagram could be one. It's like you are more integrated with one type, and then or you're disintegrated with another type. It's very similar to that once your soul upgrade, you can become a different soul gift archetype or multiple soul gift archetypes at the same time. So this dynamic self-discovery journey helps you to understand what your soul gift is and what you're here to heal. So you're more aware. You're more self-conscious of the choices that you need to make in your daily life. That, okay, this is more in alignment with my soul currently, and that's maybe a little bit steering away to my soul. So this really gives you clarity as to what your soul is actually here to do. And the more you choose in alignment with that, the more you will feel actually you are happier. You're less, you're less prone to have sickness, and you're more fulfilled.
Okay, so I love a lot of these systems, and like Myers-Briggs is really about how you take in information and how you decide about it. Enneagram is really about
Right.
your motivations, and this is about
Mhm.
your soul purpose.
Soul purpose.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
Yes.
And let
Yeah.
me see if I can find this. I had this up. This is I'm just gonna put this up here.
Oh, yeah. Actually,
Okay,
this
good.
is
You
the
show
book,
it. Yeah,
and right, and this is the full color wheel. This is the
yeah.
back, on the back side of the. Oh, sorry, it's my computer now. So all right, you need to come up.
There we go. Where'd
Ah,
she go? Where's Helen? There
yeah,
she
here
is.
we go.
Yeah.
So this is the 36 aura color. So basically, this is in the center are the primary colors. You see, if you work on everything, you actually is white.
White. Yeah.
And then those RGB color, because light is RGB, is not CNYK. If you know, it's the light composition. So those are 36 aura color, and the naming of it or the number of it is insignificant, because to be honest, like, or if you are an aura reader, you know that your aura is a spectrum of color. It's not just one static color. I do this so that for people who are, not, like a spiritual aura reader, easy to understand or digest. You are majority of this one. It doesn't mean that you are this, like, color in just one color, but in general, this is the wheel.
Okay.
And yeah.
And you end up, so on Helen's website, we'll have all these links. There's a link to take a test. And so I just want to share that I came out forest. I came out forest, which is a shade of green, and it says my soul
Yes.
gift archetype is visionary. Visionaries are born
Yes.
with strong yellow energy, powered by the solar plexus chakra, and violet aura powered by the third eye chakra. And it says
Yes.
I possess intuitive clairvoyant abilities and often form ideas or paradigms in my mind's eye. And I'm generally confident and natural leader. I have long-term visions and a higher perspective and larger scope of life, which is true. I mean, it was really
You're doing this
interesting.
work,
Yeah, it was very interesting.
and you're doing this work in alignment with your soul. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, it was interesting. I shared it with my youngest daughter. She goes, "That's spot on, you." And I mean, not absolutely everything, but it's
In
taken me a while to
general.
figure out that I'm always creating new paradigms for reality and what life is,
Yeah.
and I'm always creating new models, and I'm always trying to work at this larger scope. That's the word. It was larger scope. So like when I was a minister at a church, and a lot of it involved like one-on-one stuff. And at one point I wanted to be a therapist. A lot of that would have involved one-on-one stuff. It took me a while to figure out that I'm really much more about this big picture.
Yes.
And I'm
You
really
are
much more about
really
raising consciousness. And
people. Yeah.
yeah. That was interesting. And there's more stuff in here. It talks about my deep soul wound is in the red aura layer, powered by the root chakra. And that sometimes I feel a sense of lack of belonging, security, and safety. For sure, I have a sense of lack of belonging. I like belong nowhere. I keep joining groups where I don't fit at all. But I'm an outsider. I'm an outsider. I'm constantly
I hear
like
you.
an outsider.
I
It's
hear
like there are things that I resonate with, but really who I am doesn't belong here. And so I'm always really struggling with, where do I belong? Where do I belong? And then there's this
you. Yeah.
other thing. I think I highlighted it too dark, but my main soul lessons are in the orange, green, and blue auras. And okay, which means I need to regulate my emotions. I feel like I've done that pretty well. Opening
Those are
my
lessons, not wounds. So those are not as bad
okay.
as wound. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, communicating my truth authentically, that is something, that's this throat chakra. Whenever
You're working
I
on
have
that.
illness or anything, it's always here. If I have a cough or a scratchy throat or something, it's always here. And what's so funny is I'm always recognizing that I'm trying to fully express myself. And my husband is there to go, Carol, you don't have any troubles expressing yourself.
No, this is the inner work. Outsiders, they don't know, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, exactly. It's like I feel like I'm
They
always
don't
trying to struggle.
know.
He's like, "You're constantly expressing yourself." Uh, so
Yeah.
anyway,
Constantly expressing, and whether it's authentically to your truth, it's a two different things.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if you think about it, yeah.
Well, and I do. I think I express my truth to him, um, maybe a little too much.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you feel a little safer with it. That's
I
normal.
think
That's
that's what it
typical.
is.
Yeah.
I think that's what
Yeah.
it is. Okay, so tell me though, just so that people who are listening, like, what do I do with all this? Because it resonates, and now what do I do?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a great starting point. So I have a free 20 question quiz where you can go online and identify your soul aura color. So now you have, first of all, you have clarity of, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be born to do. So oftentimes people have imposter syndromes. They cannot claim that I'm the visionary. I just have these big visions. I can create this new paradigm. So claim it, own it. This is you. This is your gift. This is how you can be of service to the world. A lot of people even afraid of doing that, to be honest, to begin with. So that gives you so much clarity. Oh, I'm a big picture person. Own it. Totally fine. Okay, that's the soul gift part, right? And the second thing is to realize, okay, I have a soul wound in the red aura layer. So red aura layer related to security, safety. It also means there was some past life clearing, because that's the root chakra, and ancestral line clearing. So some ancestral trauma from either the mother line and the father line, that's related to there. So those are the deeper spiritual symptoms. Now, when I talk about wound, just so you know, there are 4 possibility of manifestation. It can be a physical symptom that's related to the parts of body that governs, your physical body. And it can be a mental symptom, emotional symptom, or spiritual symptom. Okay, so you can the second chapter of my book, literally on the oracular book, it listed out every single aura layer from red to white, all the body parts, all the emotional symptoms, physical symptoms, so you can self-diagnose whether you can put yourself in that spot. It's almost like, a doctor's checkup. Okay, so what are your symptoms? Let's list it out. Okay, what are the possibilities, right? So then you have this self-awareness of, oh, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm feeling now. I need to work on my red aura layer, or I need to work on my blue aura layer right now, right? So as long as they are not your soul gift aura color aura layer, those are the aura layer you need to work on in general. And even if it's your gift, even that's your third eye, like you have the vision and all that, but if you use it all the time, like if you cast out too much, sometimes you need to rebalance it anyways, right? So the how, like, okay, now I know all of these, what do I do? You literally, like in chapter 2, so after you self-diagnose all the symptoms, you kind of know, oh, this is what I need to do, this is what I need to do. I list out a toolbox. I call it the holistic toolbox. It lists out pretty much every possible modalities. If you like crystal, you can try crystal healing. If you like sound bath, there was typical solfeggio frequency, that particular frequency music you need to listen to. For example, red aura, I think it's 396. You can put that music in your background while you're doing the computer work, right? So that particular frequency music is good for you. Or so there was also Ayurveda practices, so what you should eat, because food is medicine. It's all holistic toolbox. So that way or I need to eat red beets, for example, like literally red food, I need to intake that more, so that helps me grounding. Or root vegetable rather than leafy vegetable, so that also helps me, especially if your symptom is physical, right? I also mentioned, yoga poses, different type of meditation style that's particular for this particular aura layer. And if you are into connecting with your spirit team, I also list out what are the angels that what are the spirit guides you should call upon, and also facing which direction to do your meditation. I literally like have a whole list of possibilities that I've learned that it works. But of course, I list it out as like as a toolbox, because some people like to meditate, some people like to do exercise, like to do yoga, some people like crystal, some don't, and some people like to listen to music. So that's why I list them all out. You pick your own thing. It doesn't matter. So that way you have a toolbox of, okay, next time, I have a scratchy throat again. I feel a little bit fearful of expressing in public. Okay, so now I know I need to drink blue butter pea tea, for this particular aura layer. I need to listen to this particular frequency before I go out. So there are like, the more it's about cultivating self-awareness from a holistic standpoint. Like before you go into the hospital, you should already know what's going on inside of your body, so that you can either self-heal or embody what you're here supposed to do.
Or keep yourself out of the hospital entirely.
Exactly. That's right. So it's all about, because we we are naturally whole, like when we're
Right.
born, it's like, it's this self-awareness, like self-reflection. We really don't have time, like the modern society, because we have this to-do list like all day long. We really don't have that time that carve out for us to reflect. If you have that self-awareness, or conscious to choose that particular action that's in alignment with your soul, you should never get sick, to begin with, to
Right.
be honest.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, there's a couple things I want to say before I hand it over to you to whatever your last words are. First of all, when your publicist person contacted me about you, I can't remember his name, and I went to your website and I watched your videos, and I wrote him back and I said, so I do use my intuition when it comes to what guests I want to have on. I get a lot of requests, and most I say no to, but I just knew I wanted to talk to this woman. And I said, she's so beautiful. I said, I think this woman, Helen, is so beautiful. And I can see it, your light, and the way you dress, the colors, you can tell that the colors that you're wearing have something to do with your soul, because it just really resonates. That's just how I really felt when I watched your videos. So I think this is something that we can all aspire to. I have a question. The art behind you, I'm assuming, is that your art?
Yes, those are all my paintings,
Okay.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
all of the colors are there.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, my favorite piece is currently in my gallery, so I don't have it in the house. But this is actually my favorite channel painting. Is my spirit team, the Dragon's Eye. It's during a meditation. That's what I paint. I paint from visions in my meditation, and this is in the Peacock Art Gallery Museum in Huntington Beach. So if you're local, go check it out.
It's beautiful. I love that. And I love all
Yeah,
the
I use very
colors.
vibrant color.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
beautiful. I love that. Um, and I think the last thing I want to say is I want to acknowledge your husband and my own husband as well, because
Yes.
I mean
Yeah.
he fell in love with Helen, whatever you were, 1.0, whatever your original Helen was, and
That's right.
he's been with you evolving up to Helen 5.0 and supporting you all along the way, even though he's not on the same path. I think there's something really
Yes.
special about that. I know my own husband, he often jokes. He tells people that he's been married to many women, but they've all been Carol. So
Yes.
been many versions of me in the last 40
Yes.
some
Yes.
years. And we do evolve like that. And the thing that's interesting about your color wheel is our soul colors evolve. They can change as we
Yeah.
change and we learn, we integrate our lessons and we heal, then that can change. It's a
Mhm.
dynamic system, and people are very
Yes.
dynamic. So I think people are going to love your book and love all the stuff you're doing. But I do want to give you any last words if there's something that you want to share that you didn't get a chance to share with us today.
Yeah, so Carol, I just want to reflect back of what you said. I totally agree on, the iterations of our soul's journey. We might not born knowing all of this. That's why it's like an evolution. As you said, you have a many version of you. And that's when like major events in our life, or we incorporating a lesson, or we heal a wound. That's where I see, souls changing and upgrading. That's great. I think a lot of people are on a spiritual path, that if you're drawn to spiritual work, you no matter your subconscious know that you're working on that. And also reflecting back to our husband of supporting our work, it's like I would say it's a positive soul contract, right? It's someone who we assign to help us to evolve in this lifetime. You have positive soul contracts, negative soul contracts. And what I've observed in the aura color wheel system, for people who have taken the quiz, if they are a couple, like a long-term study couple, the data actually shows that majority of it is either complementary on the color wheel. So if you're green, your husband may likely in the red spectrum, or the opposite, the other way is allergy. So it's more like they're closer to the color spectrum. So maybe he's another shade of green. So that's what like most, that's very interesting. Actually, that's the quiz 2.0. I'm going to develop into like a compatibility type of reading between two souls. Those are the soul contract. That's very, very interesting when you understand at a soul level. So I would say the last words is that I am really, really a huge, strong proponent of being in alignment with your soul's purpose. That's actually my work. I would say like my life's work is to I think really to develop that self-awareness, to carve out the time for yourself to really get to know your soul. That's like the relationship you with yourself is actually the most important actually for as a human being and the evolution. And I really want to emphasize it again, to play with this concept that look at yourself as light and not look at yourself just as this physical body. And that will really change your perspective of how you work on yourself. Because if we are talking about light, then we are talking about what each ray of light's energy is. So like today, when you mention like I'm very colorful, I actually intentionally choose pink and green to wear because I want this to be a heart to heart conversation. So I literally like even pick watermelon tourmaline. That's also for the heart chakra. So if you can intentionally understand your light and intentionally living in alignment with your light, you will realize all the things you want: abundance, health, love, joy, everything. I mean, it's universal craving. Okay, I'm not talking about a single thing. You will have them manifested in your life. So all you need is actually to work on yourself. I want to get this message clear and cross instead of filling your schedule every day with 1 million to do things. Now, we always have those, but what is your priority? Just like my priority is my meditation every single day. I have 20 minutes of no, like, don't bother me time. It doesn't have to be long, but you need to do it daily. I recommend 20 minutes a day. No matter you meditate or not, it doesn't matter. You can just sit with yourself for 20
Yeah.
minutes. That would be my message to you.
Oh gosh, thank you, Helen. This has been such a gift. I've just really enjoyed being with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I hope to be a walking example of radiant light, right? So that
Yes.
way can inspire more and more people to do that. And thank you for sharing the light as well. Thank you for helping me to spread the message, Carol.
Yes, yeah, I'm
and you
excited.
are walking, and you are walking on this path too.
Yes, yes, I am. And when you were talking about Jesus and Buddha being the white light, I'm reminded, and I tell people this all the time, what Jesus said over and over again was follow me, follow me, follow me. And
Yeah,
what he meant is follow my path and become this
yeah,
light and become this light
exactly,
as I
exactly.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, when you mention that, it reminds me another quote from Jesus. Is like what you don't bring forth in you will destroy you, and what you bring in, forth inside of you will I don't remember the exact word, kind of like nourish you.
Yeah, yeah.
So if all you want is literally health, abundance, love, and all of this joy, or all of these things, you literally need to bring that within you out and
Yes.
need to surrender. It requires a lot of brave, courage, surrendering, trust, um, and this is what this society needs right now instead of fear,
Mhm.
and worry. So yeah, that's really from the heart.
Yes, you're doing great work. Okay, thank you so much, Helen. Thank you, thank you. And thank you
Thank you,
everyone for
Carol.
listening. I just know a lot of people got a lot out of this and they'll be taking your test and buying your book and we'll get people, your million people. We'll get your million people
Yeah.
on this path.
Oh, actually, I have a free masterclass on my website that you can sign up. You can just like, if you like the system and you want to learn a little bit deeper, it's really great, complementary to the book. So it's a 1 hour recording course. So that way you get to know how you can use this a little bit deeper. And if you purchase the book, within this launch week, I have a couple book launch party that I welcome you to come as well. There was an online book launch party that's going to be on Saturday, July 19th at 10 a.m. Pacific. I'm broadcasting on all my social channels, so you can just watch me live, and you can do live Q&A with me. And the other one is in person on Sunday, the 20th, July 20th in the afternoon at the gallery, actually at the Peacock Art Gallery, where I have my solo show. So if you're local in the LA or Orange County area, welcome to come and celebrate the birth of this book with me.
Wonderful. Okay. Thank you, Helen. And thank you, everyone, for listening. And I now close the Spiritual Forum.